Welcome to my revision of my American history notes as I do this painstakingly to look over what I've already said to see what I want to change. I'm using this basically to do that and sort it out in my head. So let's begin from where I left off. We'll talk about the birth of a nation. Now, between 1702, not the movie, but the not the silent movie, but the history. Between 1702 and 1713, the American version of the War of the Spanish Succession, known in North America as Queen Anne's War, rocked the colonies. We've already mentioned some of the actions of that war and the combined raids of the Carolinian and their Indian allies along the frontier with Spanish Florida. The War of Jenkins' Ear between 1739 and 1743 was an extension of those hostilities regarding the dispute with the English and the Spanish over the border of Florida. Now, King George's War was the American version of the War of the Austrian Succession and lasted from 1740 to 1748. These wars over who would succeed to the throne in European countries when a reigning king died childless or with multiple claimants for the throne, and with different countries backing different aspirants to those thrones, always spilled over into the colonies of the European nations involved. The French tried to regain Port Royal, Nova Scotia, which they lost in the previous war, and which was renamed Annapolis Royal in 1744. In 1745, a New England expedition under the leadership of William Pepperell, supported by British ships, besieged Louisbourg and brought about the fall of the heavily fortified structure with one of the first large uses of artillery on the North American continent. The pride of the New Englanders and of all Americans who heard of this great victory made them feel that they had proven themselves to the mother country. Term coined way back in 1617 by Pilgrims John Robinson and William Brewster for England. This confidence was one of the factors that led to the Revolution, according to H.W. Brands in his book entitled The First American, The Life and Times of Benjamin Franklin. Now, in 1746, a French expedition against the English's Cape Breton Island and Nova Scotia was destroyed by a storm off the coast of Nova Scotia. For the next 2 years, a New England campaign to Canada led to French and Indian raids on settlements. William Johnson, New York's Commissioner on Indian Affairs, and Conrad Weiser, who favored the Iroquois nation's territorial claims against the Delaware Indians, secured the alliance of the Six Nation Iroquois Confederacy against the French and their Indian allies. However, the 1748 Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle resulted in an uneasy peace in the colonies, with colonial disgust poured on the British crown for returning Louisbourg to the French in exchange for Madras, India. So next we'll talk about the 7 Years' War. There's some very interesting things there I think we should consider. And I hope you'll click like if you watch this, and I look forward to talking to you again.